Hello and welcome to a Vintage Masters Draft online. We got lucky here. We opened one of the Power 9, and in this recurrence of the format, the original borders are reprinted on these, so that's kind of cool. And the original art even. So that'll be our pick here. Kind of cool. Maybe we can go into Storm or something with this first pick. World Gorger Dragon is another funny one. This was banned in Legacy for a while, is my understanding, because there was some combo, but Legacy is so powerful now that this is embarrassing. Anyway, fun, exciting start here. Passing to Chomano, Lumberjack Magic, and Whammy. Focus, Moondrakes, Wanapo, and a lot of Peaches. So the color is kind of cool here. We get a turn 1 access to things like Counterspell. That'll be my next pick, I think. I just love this art. And we could be like a mono blue deck or storm deck or something, but whatever it is, it'll be a lot more powerful with this Mox Sapphire. Next up, not amazing cards here, but there's a Psychotog. It could be a win condition in like a control deck. Yeah, Psychotog's pretty cool. Flowstone Hellion, also a nice one. If you clear the board, it's just 5 power haste, which is pretty good. Keen-Eye Aven, Croson Tusker, these are neat, but I guess we go with Psychotog here, although there's no card that really stands out. Certainly Psychotog could be very powerful. Plateau, maybe jumping into something like Jeskai Control would be an option. Again, I'm not so excited with, I guess Ophidian is okay, but the fact that you don't get to hit and damage with this is not great. The fixing is really tempting here, because you don't always get the chance to have a consistent, powerful 3-color deck, and there just aren't many of these dual lands that don't come into play tapped for you. So I'm gonna actually go for this Plateau. Hopefully we can make something work here. Yeah, blue, maybe even 4 colors is a thing. Keen-Eye Aven. Time to take a creature maybe. Although it's not the best creature out there. Other options, just a white card. There's no red cards here. None worth playing outside of green. Yeah, I'll take the Keen-Eye Aven. Then what? Then we can look at Dark Ritual, because maybe Storm is open. Give up on this Plateau a bit. Yeah, or take Spark Spray, which is fine. I'll take the Dark Ritual here. Nightscape Familiar is fine. Alright, it looks like of all the archetypes, Storm might be the most open. Really try to go down that plan. Famine clears the board. Imperial Armor kills quickly, just watch out for bounce and kill spells on whatever you enchant up. Mana Prism, probably our best bet in a Storm style deck. But whenever I start to draft Storm, I never get the win conditions. I always get a lot of rituals and the mythics that, you know, Yawgmoth's Will, Yawgmoth's Bargain, but it never works out that I get even Brain Freeze or anything like that. Lonely Sandbar, turn 1 cycling. This is the pack that's wheeling. We get World Gorger Dragon. Don't think that's going to be it here, but I will take a Sandbar. We don't have to be blue with this Mox Sapphire, but it is a nice touch if we can build something like that. Another Keen-Eye Aven. I'll go for the Keen-Eye Aven here. Over Barrenmoor? Oh, I don't know. Because, yeah, I guess we're giving up on this Plateau. We could just be blue-black control. I'll take the Barrenmoor here. It works pretty well with Psychotog. being like a 1.5 point pump spell. Same with any cycler. So another Keen Eye Aven can make the deck here. And, oh great, Temporal Fissure. Rescind. Could be worse. Another Temporal Fissure. And Urborg Uprising. Gotta get the value somehow. Addle, last pick. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but it's fun to open a Mox Sapphire. In pack 2, we open Flametongue Kavu. That's not bad. Not too much going on in blue for us. I guess Scrivener is a fine one, but nothing compares to the Kavu here. And even though we don't really have fixing for it yet, well, I've got this Mana Prism, and it's just powerful enough to play anyway. It hits hard. I mean, it's just a removal spell for 4, which is already good. But if you clear the board, you're just hitting for 4 a turn on top of that. Or trading up with a big creature. And there's reasons why this guy is so renowned throughout Magic's history. Alright, Time Vault. I'm pretty sure there's no way to untap this nonsense. And I always forget to look out for ways. Maybe you just have to lose a turn to take another turn. So I guess that works. Maybe it's worth taking here, probably not. Take something like Circular Logic or Lonely Sandbar. Logic is nice. I mean, we're going to fill up our graveyard. Sandbar is also always welcome, but I'll take the Logic here. Twister, Power Sink, Killer Whale is another good one. And for me, shoot, Killer Whale is a powerful creature in this type of deck, but I want to go control. Let's take Power Sink here. We're going to be ahead of the curve with our Sapphire, so we can hold up Force Spike effectively on turn 1. I'm just building the deck around the Sapphire, which is not necessarily the correct play, but it is kind of funny. More counter magic. Alright, counter spell here. Need a few ways to draw cards. Maybe we can wheel a Scrivener. And then Uprising to get the Scriveners back, and then we're in business. Whoa. This thing comes in 4 damage to each other creature. So that's a good way to clear the board. And then we have Brain Freeze here. I'm not sure if this deck is going to be Storm. It seems like just a regular old deck, to be honest. There's one shiny Brain Freeze, though. You know, I'm going to go with the Crater Hellion here. To blazes with Storm. We don't need it. Barrenmore, that'll be good. Yeah, Crater Hellion's nice in a control deck. Carnophage, Lurking Evil. Maybe that's good in a control deck. Just keep paying half your life. Keep making this into a creature. Yeah, this pack's not great. Goblin Matron doesn't help find anything. There's no fixing. There's nothing in our colors. I guess at the very least there is a rare. We could take that. And we do have some potential fixing for that. Plateau. Barrenmore number 3. I guess that's okay. Turnabout for the actual Storm player, which I don't think will be us at this point. Search and Spray. I like Spark Spray better here because it draws a card just like the Search. We don't need the Storm from it, and we don't have good ways of discarding cards. Well, I guess we do with the Psychotog. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the Obsessive Search. That's enough for me. And then we have the same option here. And it'll be easier to cast the Search for sure. I guess we could take another little cantrip here. with the search. Yeah, I'll go for that. I've convinced myself that the searches will be good with a Psychotog. Fiend is fine. Familiar, kind of at its best in a Storm deck, but hey. Okay, Brain Freeze is back. Who knows, maybe Storm is still in it for us. Now that we have a couple searches and the familiar, not a critical mass yet. I mean, Storm doesn't generally like to play this much counter magic. Got some nice ones here. Cloud of Fairies is one I quite like with counter magic. Then we've got Chain Lightning, Mana War, and a possibly splashable Saproling Burst, which is good value for a few turns. I'll go with the Cloud of Fairies here. Especially with a Nightscape Familiar in play, that gets pretty strong. Tap a couple lands, net a couple mana, play something else cheap. Yeah, it still looks like we are not Storm. Possibly not even red. But we'll just have to see about that. Here is another Psychotog, and we've taken a few cards to build around it, so I will take another Psychotog over Mana War, which is another powerful creature, not quite on the level of Flametongue Kavu, but it comes down for cheap, and that's always good. Scabland, that is not the good one. The enemy colors have these pain lands. The good ones are the fetch lands, but only available in the allied colors. But if we did get like a white or a red fetch land, we could grab our plateau, and that's kind of nice. Anyway, Deep Analysis instead here looks correct. Keep in mind that we're like 5 cards short, or not 5 cards short, like 3 cards short, because we have these 5 lands here, including Mox, which takes the spot of a land. It's just a very fast land. We could put down an early Smokestack, but we don't have so many permanents to put into play with that type of thing. How about this Killer Whale? Our second chance at it, and it's a nice clock once you get it going. Arrogant Worm. If we were Sultai instead of Grixis, could be discarding these Arrogant Worms to our Psychotog. But instead, let's grab this Flowstone Hellion. Rocky Tar Pit, there we go. There's our allied color fetch land. And that even gets Plateau, although that doesn't help us too much since we're not in white. Probably don't need this Plateau at all. Let's see, Fledgling Djinn. This pack's not great. It has the ritual for a possible Storm deck. We have the 1 win condition, and we don't have enough win conditions to be consistent. I'm just going to pass that on and take something else. Now, what that something else is just depends here. Nothing's great here. I'll just take the Djinn. Oh, Death's Grasp. Or just plain old Death Grasp. That is one we could splash off our Plateau and Mana Prism. Seems like a good value. Sure. Sorcerer is good. Not sure if it's what I want here. Exile might be good. Black is kind of not really a splash color, but not really our first color either. This might be it right here. So this is like 22 cards, not including our land pile over here. The fixing is okay. We'll play, I guess we just play the Plateau and the Prism as our only sources of white. So Rocky Tar Pit kind of gets in there. Paralyze is fine. And then we've got these Cyclers. We've got good value in most of our creatures. Judgment could even make it in, or at least come in out of the sideboard. And then we've got all this counter magic, no Scriveners, which is a bit of a shame. These searches, maybe we even go down on lands. I don't really want to do that though, since so many of our lands do cycle or fetch. So the fact that we have a bunch of cards with cycling doesn't really slow us down too much. Anyway, Grixis white. Convince myself that this is the right build here, and we can do some mana balancing. Yeah, funny, I'm not a huge fan or user of storm decks. I just don't think we have quite enough payoff to make it work here. But the rest of this action looks nice. We've got the tools to win a game. 14, 6, 3, 1. With some double red on this, my goodness. So I think we take out one of those, at least one of those, 2 of those, 3 of those. All right, we'll put some lands back in here. So this is our stack of blue. It's 10 blue sources for a lot of blue cards. That should probably be enough. And then we can add in a couple more black here, tar pit, and that looks good actually. So we've got, I mean, 2 or 3 sources of white, 4 sources of red, 4 or 5, and then a bunch of sources of black, and a couple lands to cycle away there. So this looks good. Let's see how it actually performs in some matches. Mox Sapphire, Stormless, Grixis White. Just a hodgepodge of good stuff here. Hello and welcome to round 1. This hand is borderline but keepable with the cycler here. Then what? This hand does not look great. Skyshroud Forest. There is a powerful blue-green discard madness deck, which we'll have to watch out for here. This is a nice little pain land. Ooh, Sultai. I think we give up Rescind first, before our Keen Eye and the other cycler we have here. Probably cycle again. And we'll just hold up 2 blue since we're not likely to use it. And it might dissuade them from playing as good of a spell here. Mesmeric Fiend, huh? I'm going to cycle, because if we hit land, it protects our Keen Eye, and then who knows after that. No real way to get rid of that Fiend. I love this. This is a Manticore or Masticore. I always forget which is which. Lying on a cephalid probing table. And that's what they take our Fiend. They want to protect their own hand. What is this? Sultai Storm or something? Oh, let's draw some cards. That might help us hit our next land drop and get down a Flowstone Hellion. And so it does. We could wait another turn after that. Oh, Suchi? Wish we could bounce that and counter it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for this Hellion. We can always bring it back later, and right now it outpaces them. Just make sure they know we want to pump it up here. pretty clearly what we'll pump it to, whether they block or not. So what's it gonna be, Suchi? Love this art. They will block it. Alright. They figure they're more defensive, and that's probably about right, given our deck here. It's so rare to see the mana get used here. Mainly you can use it for cycling. Arrogant Worm. So it is some kind of Sultai like madness deck. Gotta think for a minute here. What is the play? We can't get back the Hellion and cast it this turn, that's for sure. So we're probably not going to need any red. Prism, just to get it down there. We're just going to spend this turn ramping. And then Swamp, and I think Pass. That holds up Logic Knot. It holds up the Search. And Deep Analysis can wait. And it holds up Regeneration to block 1 damage here, I guess. But that's not going to be my play. I think they know about Logic, or Circular Logic, not Logic Knot. That's another thing. Another spell for another day. Mana Prism, that's fine. Search it up. Hey, there we go. See what we get first. Mox Sapphire, yeah, a little showing off here, even though we're going to lose. How did we use all of our blue up? Honestly, 1, 2, yeah. We should have left up Mana Prism here, for sure. Now we can only counter one thing. Choking Tethers, well, that doesn't really count. I guess they're not going for the Familiar. Well, we should have plenty of mana to regenerate our Familiar and counter whatever. So let's do that. They can play a 2-drop, maybe a 3-drop if they hit their land drop. Most of those don't scare us too much. Hymn to Turok. Huh. Well, that sucks. Okay. Oh, nice. They hit the ones we didn't care about so much. The Uprising is nice to have here. This art is just weird. Is that what ghosts look like? Faces on chests? Little Casper ghosts. Yeah, we lucked out with that hymn. Alright, what else are we going to luck out with here? I will use the Prism this turn. Now we don't need multiple blue up. Get our guys back. And we draw a card? I always forget that part. It's a 3 for 1 here. Anyway, what is the plan? We need a good blocker here. Or we could hold up regeneration. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. So we can double block the worm and then have this Nightscape Familiar back. Because we're at a pretty low life total here. After all that, we still have less cards than they do. And they have some kind of trick. We'll just have to see what it is. +3/+3 and draw a card, maybe? Could also be a bounce spell. It's not blue yet. They would have taken a pain. So they get our Kenai even, little 1-for-1 here. 2-for-1, but we get to play our guy again. Play this guy. And play this guy. Now we're talking. We might be all right here. What is this thing? I can't even tell where its face is, or if it has one. Is that its eye? Where's its mouth? I don't know. Roar of the Worm. Alright, that's a big guy. It'll be another big guy soon. But our Hellion can trade with it, and then our Killer Whale has to stay back to block. So we don't get attacks this turn. That's a shame. Maybe one day. They've also had 6 lands to our 9, soon to be 10. I guess since we don't want to draw lands, we can fetch on our upkeep here. Thin the deck a bit. Oh no. Well, I guess we'll lose our worst creature, which right now is the Kenai Aven. So definitely no offense anymore. I guess they would come in with the worm here, at the very least. No, I guess not, because the reason I expected them to do that is it definitely trades with something. Well, I guess we can always just regenerate our guy. Oops. So never mind, they did it correctly. Wow, our last basic in the deck. Cool. Oh, that's a good one here. Psychotog, right now we have +4/+4 on it. Oh, and it's cheaper too. Well, who knew? Still no great attackers. Maybe Killer Whale could get in, but I'm not in love with that. 4 pumps doesn't even make it big enough to kill a worm yet. And it's a one-time thing, so we pump it up, then we don't have a graveyard anymore. So it pumps +1/+1 for exiling 2 cards in your graveyard. Here's Roar again. Yep. That is 2 big worms. Anything else? Killer whale, great. Just a lot of beef over there. Draw an island or something here. Don't do it. No! Well, it's another pump for the Psychotog, at the very least. We have blockers for all this. We're just at less life and have less stuff on the board. More time. We have more time in this game here. Killer whale gets flying. Great. I mean, they realize we can give our guy flying too, right? Both of those guys are attacking, so here's what we do. We try to kill both worms. So we're just going to need to pump our Psychotog as much as possible and pump our Flowstone Hellion as much as possible also. Do that first. Come on. Come on. You gotta keep passing or we can't do our stuff. We could actually do it all at once, but I want each thing to resolve first. If we put all of our triggers on the stack at one time, then for Psychotog at least, they could just shock it after the last one. So despite being slower here, I think this is the right way to go. It doesn't really matter what we get rid of, but we can leave, I don't know, we can leave one of our creatures in play, or in the graveyard. And regenerate this guy, almost forgot. And that should do it. Wow, all of our stuff survived except this poor beast. It's a Hellion and a beast. My goodness. And now we have more to sack to the Psychotog. And we can even counter their next play. This is great. We've really stabilized here. Or something. Krovikan Sorcerer, that's one that it's going to beat us up if we let it keep going. Just get them too much card advantage. Because we want them to draw their fair share of lands here. Oh, I love counter magic. Still behind in the race, so we can't really push it. Cool. Whoa. Huh. I don't know what to do with this Crater Hellion. I mean, it is a 6/6. Let's see. We cast it, we regenerate the Nightscape Familiar rather, and then we hold up counter magic. Then our Psychotog dies. And a bunch of their things die. Because we can't save our Psychotog even if we discard Counterspell. Now I guess we're really close to saving it. 1, 2, 3 pumps would save it. Why don't we wait a turn? But then it's going to be tiny anyway. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Crater Hellion. Then our Fiend comes back. Should have left a... Oh, we should have left a black here for sure. And they're going to try to counter this unless we pay 6. So let's counter Circular Logic. Still doesn't let us save Psychotog. So no reason to try. And then we get back our Fiend, which we can't play because I didn't think about that. Or leaving up the Familiar. Oh well. Another one? Come on. Yeah. That's what we could have countered, maybe? Okay. So now we're going to just hit as hard as we can every turn and see if they concede. I'm not going to bother attacking with our whale until it's actually just lethal, because they always have the option of bouncing off it. Give us our Fiend back. We played a foil Fiend. Alright, they're just going to take it to 7. Is what it looks like. Wow, we both have so few cards left. Okay, well, one thing we can do here is just make an all-out attack, and that forces them to block at least something. We don't really need to give our whale flying. Because if they block that, it means it's one less thing to block the Hellion. Well, that's pretty neat. And then we get our dude back. Now we have to be a little careful not to use our prism, because that's what screwed us up before. We needed a specific color of mana, and they just have lands left, but that's okay, because we have a 1/1 in play. And now we know. So if they don't draw anything here, they are super dead. That worked out well. Even if they did find the miracle card here. It's still been a pretty nice game for the home team. Sultai stuff. Sultai good stuff. The more colors, the worse Addle gets. Although sometimes you can choose the right colors. Mesmeric Fiend seems like the right kind of card for this format. Even Brain Freeze might be pretty good. It is instant. Could be a late game way to win this. Yeah, maybe we'll go with Brain Freeze. That's tough though. It makes their Circular Logic better. And that's 2 cards we have to remove. Cloud of Fairies might be one. I'll leave out Brain Freeze for now. But I do like the Mesmeric Fiends. Their best way of dealing with them is to remove them from our hand as soon as they can. Whoa, this is good stuff. Mox Sapphire into Counterspell. They can't even steal it from us. Rock on. Welcome to Vintage. I guess we would counter a Mesmeric Fiend. Otherwise, it's just draw a couple cards. Yeah, get out of here. We don't want any of that. We could bounce one of their lands back and slow them down. No, that's okay. Yeah, we're not going to get much to do here, so I'll hold up this Search and even the Rescind, which might save one of our own things. Yeah, let's draw a card. Avon is not bad. We don't even have the black yet, but we can just play a turn 3, 2/3 flyer. See if it gets force spiked. There they are. They have all their colors. Him to Turok. No, we lost our 2 best cards. Flame Tongue. Oh well. Deep Analysis. That would have been a nice one to discard there. But yeah, let's draw some cards. And make an attack. So at the very least we have the first bit of aggression going on. Next turn it can be Knights. Well, we need to draw the black first, but if we don't, we can Deep Analysis ourselves. Killer Whale can't block this turn. That was a good draw. And yeah, obviously we're gonna pump it. Love to trade here. Or would I? Maybe I just want to get the damage in. I think trading's better because the Killer Whale just blanks our Keen Eye Avon for the rest of the game. What is this? Oh, Death Reap Ritual. That's like a draw 11 in most circumstances. Let's draw a couple of our own. Baron Moore tapped. Sure. So we might allow them to draw cards here, but it does deal with this Killer Whale. And they might be expecting to counter something here. That double blue, that ominous double blue. They're just not going to be able to. Alright, so Death Reap Ritual has paid for itself, but that's it right now. Well, take your pick over there. Take whatever you want. They'll just take the odd one, the oddball. Suchi's back. Psychotog. I'm sure we're going to get something with this Fiend. We've got to get something, right? No! These stupid Mesmeric Fiends never work out. Oh, we should have kept the land because Psychotog could have discarded it. I don't know, it might work out all right for us. They might even come in with a Mesmeric Fiend. No, I guess not. We knew about Swamp. What did they just played? Oh, they just played Island. Whatever, they have a Swamp left. I just don't want them to have anything. Yeah, they played their Island. They have a Swamp at least. They also really want us to trade off Bad River, so they still have at least one land in their hand. Ooh, Urborg Uprising. I like that. I like that quite a bit. Can we... I'm not sure if it really does it for us here. Well, first things first, let's see if they counter us. Because what might happen is we get to draw a... Well, they can't counter us with the Logic Knot. We might draw a black, which would be pretty good to get Mesmeric Fiend into play. This works too. Flame Tongue Kavu comes down, and we just get to attack all out. Things are going to die this turn anyway. Kill that Suchi. It gives them infinite mana for a brief time here. And then they pretty much have to throw this Mesmeric Fiend in front of the Psychotog, or else they risk taking a lot of damage here. So we can just let that happen. They draw an extra card off the Death Reap Ritual, but we've drawn like 4 cards this turn, so I'm not too worried. Especially if we get our white source. Bam. Nice. Go us. Grixis beats Sultai. Round 2. Still on a roll here. Wow, all our colors. Flame Tongue, Kavu, FTK old boy here. Good stuff. Wait. Whoa. Playing first. Skipping their land drop. So what are they doing? Reanimating? No idea what's going on here. Or did they just miss it? Maybe they've got a library? Yeah, they just missed it, I guess. Let's do all this stuff. So we untap a couple of our lands, Mesmeric Fiend, and then aggro plan, 1/1s, Storm. Well, the one I really don't want them to have access to is High Tide, I think. Then again, Owl Familiar helps him out here. But we can kill Owl Familiar. Actually, I will take Owl Familiar. Don't worry about High Tide later. But yeah, this is just Storm opponent here. Who cares if they miss a land drop? They're gonna cap out anyway. I guess I should have played blue there. I'm sure we're not gonna hardcast Rescind though. Ooh. We're also not gonna catch anything with Circular Logic. Yeah, they've got their own Rescind going on. Playing another Swamp. Ophidian. That's one we want to Rescind, but we are going to Flame Tongue Kavu it. And I want to cycle this to get it in the graveyard, so Circular Logic becomes a real card. But yeah, let's go ahead and FTK this. It gets value, and it attacks for 4 a turn to help slow them down. Here they play Island and Mana Prism, I would guess. Yeah, so we know 2 of their cards. One is High Tide, which might be worth countering. 11, we're close to killing them with the Hellion. 10, so we can kill them next turn with the Hellion. Because of that, I'm just going to play an untapped land here to make sure we can counter whatever they try to do. If they try to go off this turn, we have enough disruption to stop them. Unless it's like Black Lotus, Yawgmoth's Will style of cards that we might not be able to deal with. Power Sink unless they pay 4. I think we let this resolve. And then counter the Scrivener. I don't know what a scrivener is. Or a scrivenger, for that matter. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess we couldn't really counter it, but we could have stopped them from going off. They can get their Ophidian back, but that's not something I'm worried about. Hold up 2 counter spells here, or just get really aggressive. Tell you what, let's get really aggressive. Shields will be down for a turn. But this lets us attack with our Fiend, and they have to kill us this next turn. So it's not a great spot for them. But, I mean, High Tide's going to do some stuff. We know it's High Tide, Scrivener, +1. 4 mana Scrivener. Gets back Rescind, which is 2 mana. But they can High Tide first, off of Mana Prism. Net 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But they need a Storm card or something. It just doesn't seem like it's good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4 spells. Yeah, even Brain Freeze doesn't get there with it. Cool. Well, we have a Brain Freeze, don't we? And some Addles. So just name blue or black. Take the combo pieces that they might have. And we can be less concerned about things like Crater Hellion. I guess it's okay. Rescind is not as good. We really want to get all this damage into play. Nightscape Familiar is very good. The counter magic, solid. And I'll take out 1 Obsessive Search because they might just combo kill us if we play enough of that kind of thing. Uprising might be too slow as well, since they won't have that many ways of killing our creatures. But whatever. Alright, turn 1 depends on what we draw, but I think this is a good enough hand to keep. It's fairly fast. We're not a super aggressive deck. But yeah, we can play out this, and I'm going to play the Mox Sapphire. I don't want to give them any opportunity to take advantage of our own storm count. Ah, very good. Tar Pit. And we can counter a 3-drop here with Power Sink. Probably the artifact. It's kind of just like 2 mana kill a land here. Counter spell. Whoops. Yeah, let's grab a red. Ooh, let's grab a plateau. If we're being real about it. So we have all our colors now. Nightscape, no problem. I want to get this into play. And they don't have the... That was a good draw. They don't have the regeneration up for the familiar. Oh, but they do have a counter spell, of course. Not too bad. I mean, they saved themselves 5 damage there, but now they have 1 less spell in hand. Okay, Bad River. There's a lot of vultures on these arts, aren't there? Even the Tar Pit has them. I wonder about the other couple arts. Again, I will take the creature over the card draw here. Don't counter it. They're thinking about it if they have a counter spell, because the Nightscape Familiar just doesn't block very well. Looks awfully suspicious that we're holding up 2 blue. But I wanted to not just leave up 2 islands because that looks even more suspicious. If they don't have their wits about them, Alfamiliar's fine. Anything they discard is fine. I really want to cancel the High Tide or the Turnabout. The Enabler. And the Familiar just doesn't block us. They have a lot of Familiars over there. They sure do. I don't know what color we're going to need. What's more likely, red or black? I think black is a little more likely. Deep analysis. Let's draw some cards. We could make them draw some cards. I'll tell you what, black mana is the most likely, I guess. We'll draw 2 swamps there. And we can wait on the drawing a couple more. We can wait. Another Nightscape Familiar. I will counter that. Because that can make Scriveners cost way too little. Cloud of Fairies. Oh, you don't say. That's not one we need here. I'm just going to draw some more cards. See what we get. Mana Prism. And it's worth holding a few lands in hand in case we get those Psychotogs. I guess the Prism is fine to get out there. And even this Cloud of Fairies is reasonable. It's not great, but it is reasonable. Oh, we already used up our counterspell. What am I thinking? Make sure we keep our blue up. But the nice part about Cloud of Fairies is it does take a turn off their clock if they go to trade with it. Oh, that's good. They've got 6 cards in their graveyard, so we have plenty to pay for the Logic Knot. What is it? Oh, it's Turnabout and Obsessive Search. Let's grab that Turnabout, so even if they find something good, they can't slow us down. And I'll offer the trade here. Bam, they're just gonna take it all. That was not the right play, I think. Who knows. Even preventing 2 there might have been better. I guess they can just prevent 2 next turn if they were gonna go by that. Did we do it again? Did Mox Ruby save the day? It looks like it did. We just got out a little too quickly for them. What do you say there, James? They cycle Rescind, which is what they just drew, and they've got an Obsessive Search. So come on, can they do it? Can they go off? That's Storm count 1. Nope. Fizzles and fades to nothing. Hello, welcome to the finals. This is not a good hand. And we're on the draw. We can suffer a mulligan here. Much better. Rescind? Rescind. I will top this. We don't know what we're up against. If we did know what we were up against, that decision would be a lot easier. And blue, so maybe it wasn't great, but it can't be that bad. But it would be really good if our opponent has some Voltron that they equip with Imperial Armor, or whatever it is. Tar Pit. Tar Pit looks good, and I don't mind drawing a land. So we can just play that. Oh, maybe it is going to be some aggressive deck here. Blue doesn't have many good enchantments. And now we know what color we want to get. And I think we grabbed that before using Lonely Sandbar. So maybe we'll draw our Mox here. Mesmeric Fiend. Oh, curses. What do you think they would steal? Nothing we can use now. We'll let them have their fun. Nothing we can grab now. Maybe the Aven? Because it's the only way we have to really interact with their board. Rescinding a Fiend is no fun. Just a waste. Rescind it and then counter it on the way back down. That's a pretty big waste. And they take the counter magic. So fair enough. And we would get Plateau, but we already have red and we don't really need white right away. Just get another blue instead. Cool. I'll take another hit here, just for the pleasure of playing Mana Prism. And another reason we don't need white. This will add some white if we ever need it. Nice quilt in the background, look at that. It's like Triforces upon Triforces in that background. Alright. Get rid of this more here, see if we can draw something better. Psychotog. Sure. Well, the Kenai Aven will at least block 1 damage if it doesn't get countered by their own counter magic. But it can't really block the Fallen Ascari, whatever it is. Because this guy's flanking, so he doesn't like being blocked so easily. Rescind our Mana Prism. Well, shucks. Now we can't... Well, I don't really know what that does, actually. Chainer's Edict, well, that's pretty good. Will we ever find a blocker? Yes, we will. Get out there, whale. Don't counter it. Counter it unless you pay 1. Yes. So that does block the Ascari. It'll be a 2/4 blocker. Unless they have us sacrifice it again. Or kill it in some other gruesome way. Sub 10 life here. We don't really need this Mana Prism, do we? Maybe we do. I think we do. Because not only does it add white, but it adds double red. And I forget if there's any double black cards in our deck, but heck, it adds that too. So what's it going to be? Come in with the Ascari and risk total annihilation here. It'll block as a 3/4. Pretty easily. No, I can't block that thing though. Yeah, don't even try it. Cool, we're still on defense big time. Draw some cards here. Counterspell. What great fortune is this? So I think we take a big hit off the Mercenary, then bounce it. What if they pump it up enough. We don't have to bounce it. Oh, what is this? Ugh. We can probably deal with that Aven. I think we just want to rescind the mercenary here. Get out of here. I mean, we have other attackers, right? Other ways to nab that guy. Oh man, this is not going well. We need more good stuff. We can save Obsessive Search to discard to a Psychotog. We can play a Psychotog. We can attack with a Psychotog even. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're threatening 10 or even 11 damage here. Shoot. Whatever, discard this Obsessive Search. Because we have another land drop here and a Mox Sapphire. Get in 2 damage. Why don't we can show off our Mox Sapphire, why not? What have you got? What have you got for us? Well, we know they have the one thing, which we'll have to counter here. But then what? They can get in 4, which is a bit of a pain. Control magic? Huh. Now we have to counter that. At least it's rare, and rightly so, powerful. But they do get in 4 here. I think they should have tried. Because then they just kill us next turn, unless we really draw something good. Oh, that was good. That was good. Can we kill them here? Tell me we can kill them here. We actually do 1 more point of damage if we discard the swamp. That's not even true, is it? Hold on, I have to think about this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we get in 14 damage here, and we gain 6 if we play our land, filter, and go nuts from there. But I think we just have to kill this Kenai Aven and somehow deal with their big next follow-up. Yeah, even if we get in a full hit here, 4 pumps in our graveyard, maybe 3 pumps in our hand. That's 8. That's not enough. Crikey. We could also kill this Mesmeric Fiend to bring back Circular Logic. Boy, tough. Tell you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to hold everything back, play the land out, so maybe we can Death Grasp for 1 more the next turn. They play land, that's good. It's a good start. Hopefully, they just come in for 2. And if that's all it is, that's fine. We're at 2. And what I want them to do is to play their 2-1, because that's the one we want to kill. Yeah, there it is. and then hopefully draw a flying blocker at some point. Well, that qualifies, kind of. Qualifies. It'll give us another turn to live. And possibly even do some damage to them. Alright, so that's white. Don't want them to counter our thing. They certainly could here. And then we'd be out of it. Does this thing do shadow damage, though? So that hits them mercenary for 7 if they don't counter it. And there are many cards that counter it. Let it happen. Just deal with it. They're paying for something. Just do it already. Just do it already. I don't know what they're doing. If they bounce their own guy, we don't gain any life. That might be what it is. Another rescind. Power sink for 3. Oh, they had to... It's weird paying for that when you have a Nightscape Familiar. So they got us. Or do they? Because now we're on the aggressiveness. So we can pump 4 times. No, we're dead. Alright, we're dead. We're dead. Last card. Okay. So they've got some of these little dudes, these little shadow creatures. Radiance Judgment, no, not Radiance Judgment, Exile, that's the one. Gain life equal to its toughness. So it's not very good against X1s. Our deck is set up well for this. Sure, they might have a few counter spells, but so do we. Yeah, let's be on the play. Not the worst hand in the world, but I would trade back these 1 island and 1 mountain for just about anything. Oh man. Yeah, this is kind of awkward, isn't it? Because I don't want to cast this Search, because I want to discard it to Psychotog. Maybe that's not that important, actually. Let's just use this to find something to do. Maybe get our black source earlier. Counter a little familiar, maybe? Or a fiend? That works for me. We do have our 1 obsessive search in the graveyard. That's why cyclers are so good. Yeah, Mana Prism. Help us cast our Psychotog. These guys are so bad, though. We don't have any cards to discard. Not really. Maybe it's better just to get this friendly dude out. And that's what I'll hold the mountain back for, to maybe discard to one of these Psychotogs. That art is just nonsense. Yeah, still hold back this swamp, and we can always play it the turn we need it. Keep a reserve of 2 lands on hand. Don't cast something big. It's too early to deal with this. Alright, they've got their own deep analysis. Only sandbar, that's perfect. And power sink. Then what? Another Psychotog, you say? Why not? Power sink can wait for something better. They're just going to deep analysis again this turn anyway, right? Right? Yeah, I don't mind saving this. We'll have to keep a reasonable number of lands in play, though. Control magic. That would have been a nice one to counter. All right, they got one of our Togs. I love how we have the same board here. They just have infinite more cards. Yeah, great. All right, we'll sacrifice the Psychotog because maybe we'll be able to get ours back. And then at least we can block this turn. Ooh, just in time. Just in time. They can save the Psychotog, but at least they have to discard a bunch of cards to do it. Bam. If they bounce one of our artifacts, we can't pay for the echo. Oh, and they just F6'd. So we got both of our Togs back. Sweet. Value. Kind of. I mean, we killed 3 of our own creatures for 2. Yeah, 3 for 3. No. How do they have 7 mana already? We're the ones with the mana ramp here. Alright. Kavu, we save him. And then when they play Baleful Force, we can power sink it this turn. Kill their next little guy. Fledgling Jin. Yeah, be my guest. You can fledge around all you want. Deep analysis. Let's just counter that. It's a 2 for 1, right? And taps the rest of their mana. They might have their own power sink or counterspell, but that's fine. Now they can't counter our little dude here. Bam. Take that. It's just a battle of 2 for 1s here. What's it gonna be now? No. No Dothy Mercenary. You don't get to have it. Now they play something twice as powerful. No, what? Another Chainer's Edict? Alright, no Creatures Rust for the rest of the game. Because now they can flashback that on whatever else we play. I'm going to cycle this. And the main... Oops. The main reason why is because we have the Animate Dead in our deck. And I want to draw towards that as soon as possible. And it just does nothing against the Chainer's Edict. But getting 2 creatures back, that does something. Tar Pit. That's a good reason to stop on our upkeep, to thin. Ophidian. So we'll get our white source here, Plateau. And Nightscape Familiar. That's one they can get us to sacrifice, but then we'll be done with that effect of theirs. And Ophidian's going to start to draw them a bunch of cards, which is a shame. But we've got stuff to look forward to. We've got our own deep analysis. Manowar is good too. And our Urborg Uprising, is that what it's called? Always going to yield to this. And hopefully they can't keep doing it forever. Yay, we're still at 20. Come on. Ooh, rescind. But maybe we should keep that. Maybe we should keep it. We could rescind our own familiar. Oh. Yeah, this is just pretty annoying. We could rescind their Ophidian. But at this point, they have more cards than us. And I think we need to draw a card ourselves now. We need to draw a way to get ourselves back in it. Cycle. Search. Island. Alright, that's one they might want to counter. Hold up Mana Prism for the extra black we might need here. Oh yeah, you better counter this. No, they're going to let us take something. They've got 1,000,000 rescinds in hand. We'll take one of them. And then what they can do is rescind the familiar and make us sacrifice Mesmeric Fiend to get everything back. But it's not the end of the world. I mean, all they have is a bunch of cyclers and... yeah, not too bad. Things that kill non-black creatures, which we don't have too many of. At least not until we get back our Crater Hellion. Dothy Mercenary. How many of these do we have to counter? Come on, something good here. I guess that qualifies. They could, yeah, they could rescind their own guy. No, they already used the second one. Oh, they can't. They can't do it. Hold on, we know they have Expunge. I'm pretty sure they don't have Rescind, though. Whatever, I'm going for it. We're gonna get all of them. 7. That gives us some time. Some time to kill here. No, they're just gonna Logic Knot it. Power Sink it for 3. Can't pay 3. That was gross. Ooh, are we dead this turn? 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're not dead. 10 or 11 damage only. Can't block much, if any of it. Another Manowar off the top. Shoot, why go 3 colors when you can have this deck? It's not, I mean, there's a few powerful cards, but it's really just a lot of value, a lot of 2-for-1s and tempo pieces. They'll pump it up a bunch. Holding up some mana for expunge. Whatever else they can dream up. Yeah, we're not in great shape here. Expunge kills Killer Whale. But at this point, you just have to do it all. I really want to nab that expunge. But they've got to rescind back, don't they? So what if we take the rescind here? I think we take expunge, whatever. So they can rescind the Fiend, then pay 3 on their turn, including a black. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we're dead. Yeah, so they rescind this. They kill our Killer Whale. 9. Oh, they might need 1 more mana to make this work. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If they can land a swamp here, we're dead. Are they going to get us to sack this? Then I think we're still alive. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're alive for a turn. Maybe we'll brain freeze them next turn, although that is not in our deck. They've used all of that. We have a beefy graveyard here. Barrenmore, you know, that might just do it. Because now, gotta practice this once in a while. We can hold control while playing the Fiend, and then counter it. Got him. Well, thanks for watching. These are the sweet decks you get to see in the finals of a Vintage Masters draft.